You want to write a book in November? Here's how to be successful. Hi, I'm Stacey Ennis. I am a book strategist and coach. I have directly impacted hundreds, if not thousands, of authors over the years and directly contributed to more than 100 books throughout 16 years in publishing. I guide authors along the transformative journey of authorhood, and I've learned a thing or two about how to be successful when it comes to writing a book. Now, you may be watching this video because you want to participate in NaNoWriMo or NaNoWriMo in the nonfiction side. For those of you who aren't familiar with this, this is a movement slash nonprofit organization that started in 1999. It is defunct now. It's gone. There was some controversy, lack of communication. And so the official movement, the official organization no longer exists, which means that your girl is here to help you organize and make it happen anyway. Now, I want to say something before I go into these strategies to help you. First and foremost, I don't think that you have to pick a whole book as your goal. I think that you could pick components of the book, like, for example, your book outline or 40% or 50% of your book. A nonfiction book is different than fiction. It is harder to write. I'm not saying that the skill needed or the craft is more difficult. I'm saying simply the organization and execution of writing a nonfiction book, especially how to, big idea, a movement related book, is just a different beast. And I think that you need more time than 1 month. And in fact, I've talked about that a lot on YouTube, on, social media, on my podcast. So um, don't feel like you need to hold somebody else's goal as your own. You can pick your own goal. So I'm going to say that at the top. But if you're like, I'm on a sabbatical from work, I have a ton of time, I'm taking a writing retreat, like you have the space and you want to write a book in a month, you're willing to sacrifice some other things to make it happen, I really want you to pay attention. I want you to follow my advice in this video because it will help you be successful. Before we jump in, do be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Before we jump in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel because you want this content, right? If you're an aspiring author, if you want to write a book, maybe it's your first book or your next book, this is the content that you need to make it a reality. So be sure that you're following along. So, with that said, let's jump in. First and foremost, create a solid outline. I feel like a broken record sometimes when I talk about this, but I cannot emphasize enough how important an outline is. It is your North Star. It is your roadmap. It is your friend when you start getting unsure or lacking motivation. Like it is so needed and it is such a huge support. So please be sure to create a solid outline. A solid outline means that you have good clarity around the book at a high level, plus you have planned at the nuance level. So you have planned the basic details that you'll include in every single chapter, including the stories that you plan to include. It's a lot. It's a lot to do. That's why I think November is a great time to focus on your book outline. I do have a self study course that can guide you through this process of creating your outline, creating a writing plan, and writing your book. I will be sure to link to that in the description of this video and the show notes because I also replay this on my podcast, Beyond Better. Number two is to write consistently, even if it's 10 minutes a day. Now, just to be real, if you want to write a book in November in 1 month, whatever month you're picking, you have to write more than 10 minutes. You're going to need to set aside a couple few hours a day, probably up to 2 to 4 hours a day to get this done, like minimum. So that's a really big goal, and you have to have the time and space to do that. That said, if you have a more maybe achievable and realistic goal within the frame of your life that's still intense, still striving, still pushing, still momentum focused, um, focusing on maybe an hour a day or just showing up, just show up. That's the number one thing is even if you're like, I have to get to work, I need to exercise, and you have, you don't have an hour, but you have 10 minutes, sit down for those 10 minutes. Do it every day, every day. Now, you don't have to do 7 days a week. I don't. But again, if you want to make this happen in November, you might want to. You might want to commit to those 7 days because you're way more likely to get this goal checked off at the end of the month. Along the goal track, number 3 is to have a specific goal. So if you are following the normal process of NaNoWriMo or NaNoWriMo, you know the drill. The goal is to have a completed 50,000 word first draft by the end of the month. Okay, that's your goal. That's pretty clear. November 1st to November 30th, you write 50,000 words. Nobody has any judgment about what those words look like. The goal is to get the words done. So just know if you don't plan well, you're probably going to have a lot of work to do on the back end. But you can set your own goal. So again, if you say, my goal by the end of November, between November 1st and 30th, is to create my book outline and write the first chapter of my book. Maybe it's even create my book outline, create a writing plan that's time bound, and write the first chapter of my book. That's an intense goal from my standpoint as a book coach, book strategist. And it's very specific. You have a specific goal that you're accomplishing by the end of the month. Maybe you can use some of the details I've shared with you. It doesn't have to be 15 pages, but just to know that you will have the high level book concept detailed. You will have a short description of every chapter, and then you'll have a detailed plan for each chapter. That could be your goal. So get clear. What is your goal? What is your goal for November or whatever month you're doing this in? And make sure that that is documented and clear and specific. Next is to get an accountability partner. Get an accountability partner because you are way, 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 way more likely to achieve your goal if you have somebody that you're working with. Now, that can be a hired accountability partner, it can be a coach like me. It could be an accountability group like my author influence circle community or a local library community. It could be a friend, maybe your friend Barbara has a book that she's working on, or John, and you're like, hey, Barbara, do you want to be partners? I want to do this thing in November. Let's check in every day. So build that accountability. Have a WhatsApp group, maybe with people that are participating. For example, in our author influence circle community, we have a challenge running in November. So we're going to have a special subgroup for people that are participating in the challenge. So whatever you need to do to build accountability, do that. And lastly, create a bigger plan around this book and understand how this book fits into your bigger goals. Now, this is specific to my world of nonfiction. I work with books that are part of a bigger mission, message, and impact in the world. So that might be to grow your business. I think growing a business is an extraordinarily noble effort. It might be to grow your brand. If you maybe run a nonprofit or you're in the nonprofit field, it might be to grow your nonprofit and the impact work you're doing. If you are an activist or trying to start a movement, it might be around that. Spending a little time to really detail your vision and understand how this book fits into it is really, really important because it's what will help you dig deep when you're on like November 22nd or whatever month, whatever day. And you're like, I'm so over it. Do I really want to do this? And then you can think about that dream and you can go, yeah, I do, because I believe in this thing. It's bigger than the book. It's beyond the book. And that will help you keep driving forward. I hope this was really helpful, whether you're watching this in October and planning for November, you're already into November, or you're like, it's February and you want to do this in March, whatever. I hope this was really helpful for you because it's really applicable at any stage, any timeline of your author journey. Again, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I also hear there's some kind of bell you need to ding to get alerted to my videos. That way you won't miss out on content that will support your author journey. And go write that book.